to the Switch Show. Before I get into what I've written down for today's episode, I want to thank everyone that has been following the Switch Show. No matter what point you joined in over the course of a few months, probably the years that this podcast has been running, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you that have tuned in, that keep on coming back to listen. Today, which is August the 12th, the day I am recording and actually releasing it, is the second year anniversary of the Switch Show. So yeah, the Switch Show has been running for 2 years, and I am very glad. It has been one of the greatest achievements of my life, and I'm glad that I could share it with a bunch of amazing people who have been my audience from multiple places. So thank you very much. I'm indeed very grateful for you all, and here's to many more years of the Switch Show and amazing content. So that being said, I just wanted to come out here and pour out my thoughts, my journal entries. Just want to read it out to you all and essentially relate in some way to what you might be thinking, what you might be facing, and be like your guide, be like your partner to help you out of whatever you're facing, or to give you that extra push to continue what you've been doing. So this is my journal entry for 9th of August, and I said in my last write-up, I began with saying how I overthink things, and to be honest, overthinking is a relative of procrastination and perfectionism. The reason why some folks like myself are overthinkers is one of the following. The first one is an insatiable need for perfection. The second is social isolation and anxiety. The third is a need to be in control of everything or inability to accept changes. And the last one is all of the above. So it's one of the following. Those things unfortunately cloud my thoughts for the most part of it, and they kept me from leaving my comfort zone. As realization of these loopholes came about, I started making efforts to cut down on the rate of overthinking. An effect of overthinking on my side was that it affected my spiritual lifestyle. So for many of you, for the ones that are listening that do not know, I'm a Christian, and that is like the center of my everything. Whatever I do, if I feel unmotivated, if I feel sad, even when I'm happy, in my up times and my down times, I give it all to Christ, and I thank Him for at least having life and being able to use my life to bless other lives. So yeah, you can check the other episodes down when I talked about my identity. You can look it up, you can listen if you want to, and yeah, that's it. So let's carry on. As a Christian, talking to God is a daily thing, but overthinking can make you stop it altogether simply because you missed a day. Now, I would explain this part before I do a detailed explanation of everything that I've written. So, the thing about devotionals and writing and journaling and anything that you're doing that has to that is concerned with spiritual growth, especially when it comes to Christianity, there is consistency. You need consistency. Consistency is what makes you grow. All right, for you to be nourished, for you to be fit, you need to be hitting the gym. You need to follow a particular diet. There will be rest days, of course, but you need to be strictly aligned, so to say. You need to be strictly aligned with your vision. So most times with overthinking, it happens that whenever you miss a day, whenever you've been stressed from work, and life is just hitting you from all sides, and you miss a day in your devotional, and you go to check it the following morning. Sometimes I believe that overthinking is the voice of the devil, and most times overthinking is just, it's the voice of, what would I call it? Overthinking is the voice of disappointment, of not wanting to be successful or be fulfilled, should I say. Most times, because once you miss a day out of your devotional, or even if you're not a Christian, your work schedule, probably you're this religious person, you have this ritual or religion to always follow something to the latter, to the very end, and you miss a day or two. When you wallow in overthinking, you'd eventually not be able to complete it. So most times, instead of overthinking, you just carry on. You might have missed it, but you still have the opportunity to carry on from where you stopped. So yeah, let's continue. Overthinking tells you that there's no use finishing what you've started if it ain't perfect. Before I started my podcast, it took three months of thinking for less than 30 minutes to get it up and running. Do I feel unhappy for taking so much time in thinking? Yes. Am I glad I started eventually? Absolutely. If not, I wouldn't have an amazing audience like you guys. So thank you very much for always coming back to listen. Don't get it wrong. It is not bad to take your time before jumping into something new. But know that every time wasted cannot be bought back. So don't beat yourself up for not being perfect or missing that opportunity. Opportunities are endless. So instead of sulking on your losses, build yourself up, gather new skills, transform and equip yourself for the opportunities that lie ahead. That is my little journal entry for that day, and this is more of an encouragement. Overthinking is something that is plaguing almost everyone right now. A recent study shows, especially in the US, that mental health has dropped drastically, and taking into account the impending global inflation, scarcity of food, economic turmoil, and everything that is going on in the world right now, with wars and insecurity in Africa, in Nigeria especially, the war that is still going on. People have lost their homes, their sources of living, their livelihood, their communities. They've lost family, they've lost friends. It makes sense to an extent to be anxious, to be depressed, to be an overthinker, to give things a billion thoughts before you eventually do it, to give an opportunity like a billion thoughts before you grasp it. But this is more of an encouragement that despite of what is going on, or in spite of what is going on, you can still make the most of it. You are alive means that you still have an opportunity. Being alive is the greatest opportunity that you can have, is the greatest opportunity that presents itself, because there's only someone that is living that can take hold of other opportunities. A dead man cannot take the opportunity to make more money. He's dead. There might be posthumous awards and all that other stuff, but he isn't really making the money. The money is in his name apparently, but he's not there to use it or to utilize it to bless other lives and all of that. But you're alive. That is the greatest gift God has given to you. That's the greatest opportunity that you have to make use of your time, your space. Reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be on a very large scale. You don't have to gather 10,000 people before you reach out. It could be your neighbor, it could be someone just down the street, it could be that friend that you've seen that is always locked up in his room, that is always to himself. Just reach out, just assure them that things will be fine. You can only spread so much optimism in this world right now, and that is what we need. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progression. You can aim for perfection, but don't be overwhelmed by the desire for everything to be perfect. There will be flaws, but those flaws, if you capitalize on the flaws, you can make something even more beautiful than you thought you could. Don't desire to be in control of everything. Not everything is within our control. Not everything is circumscribed to our demands and authority. So there are things that only God can do. There are things that God can do, and He also allows you to do. So yeah, that's basically it. So thank you all for listening. I hope this has helped you in some way. I'm trying to, decentralize. I'm trying to read out more journal entries, take stories, discussions, and a whole lot of other things. And I hope to grow this podcast even more in the coming years. And thank you all to the ones that follow me on Instagram, my Twitter, that subscribed on Google Podcasts, that listen on whatever platform you're listening to. I want to say a huge thank you. I'm very grateful to you all for listening from wherever you're listening to from the world. I love you all. Thank you for an amazing 2 years. That's it. Remember to always be the light, illuminate, and spread love. God bless you.